as we begin this process, we need to define what our subject is going to be. So I have two examples here, two selfies of myself. One in my favorite hat outside. I think I was at the park with my kids that day, so I was in a great mood. The other one I took after spending like 6-7 hours doing homework. So I was not in as good of a mood. But I gave you these two different examples to show you that how you want to get these images or the kinds of images you pick are totally up to you. You could be smiling and super happy. You could be grumpy or more serious. I also don't want you to think that just because you're not smiling that you're grumpy, but just saying that you've got all these different emotions and we don't all walk around smiling all day long. So do a picture or something that is best for you. But also you could do other people. As we've said multiple times, some of you are doing scenes of some of your favorite things like sports. There are also some really lovely like floral print-offs that we've done too. So the opportunities here are endless. Now once you get started, I'm going to go with this little more serious one here. Once you get started, the very first thing we're going to do is trace in Sharpie. Once we begin tracing, this will forever be the back of our paper. So as we work on these, as we continue on, whether we're doing Sharpie or painting or mixed media, wherever we trace, that becomes the back, okay? And we'll work on that same side for here on out. Now, as you get started, we want to focus on the most important lines. If I came in here and I traced over every little line and crease in my face, I'm going to end up looking like an old lady. And I'm only almost 30. I'm not quite an old lady yet. So we want to be mindful of that. And same for you all. We don't need you looking like you're all wrinkly and old when we're not. Okay? So I'm going to start just by jumping in. And I'm going to trace the most important areas. I'm starting with my hair. I'm going kind of around the outline of my hair here. Now remember, with a Sharpie, it is permanent. So we want to go slow. We want to take our time because those lines are hard to remove. Now, if we do make a mistake at some point as we're working, especially if we accidentally make a little mistake when we're quite a ways away into our tracing, I do have a little trick. And my trick for that is hand sanitizer. So if you ever make a mistake or you don't like how something looks when you're doing your Sharpie, if you take a little bit of hand sanitizer, the alcohol in that hand sanitizer will clean up or erase any Sharpie lines that you don't want. Now, this is not like an eraser with a pencil. We can't come in here and just hand sanitizer the whole thing, but for little spots that you want to fix, this is a really great tool, okay? Now, I'm going to keep moving and grooving. I'm going to move into my face. Think about the other details I need. I've got my hand on my face here. And I'm just carefully going along. I'm being mindful of the thickness of my Sharpie. These are pointed, so if I use the point, it'll make smaller lines. If I use it on its side, it will make bigger lines. But our goal here, like I said, is to trace the most important parts of our face. Those details that if we were missing them, we might look a little goofy. Okay. Now I'm just going to kind of breeze through this little bottom section here. I'm not a big fan of my nose, so I might come back and work with that more. But you'll see that you're going to start to develop your features and get everything that you need traced. Now, I want to keep going in and trace my shirt as well, but I just want to show you all here, this is what it'll look like as you're working. So if I pull up my sheet and slide a different piece of paper, I can see my outline. Y'all see these outlines up here? Look away from yourselves. Look up here. Okay, so this is what we're expecting in our first day. Just starting to trace those most important lines, keeping our paper still so we can come back and continue to trace if we need to. and using a teeny bit of hand sanitizer if we need to do any erasing.